Hello and welcome to Separated by Water. Tonight we're discussing the European match. Nottingham Forest are in Braga, Portugal, and it's a big European night for Forest. Thankfully, we were just chatting the other day. It's a long way from Leighton Orient away. We're now massive nights in Portugal. Tonight we can, if we secure 3 points, it can guarantee us a place in the playoff positions. So we're going to talk about that. Anna's joining us live from England. Charlie will be joining us shortly from Braga. He's just going to get his tickets, and that's the most important thing. We'll discuss all the teams, the team tactics. Hopefully the teams will be announced soon. But anyway, before we get to all that, Anna, welcome. How are you?
Welcome, Anna.
I'm really good, thank you. Pleasure as always to be on here. How about yourselves?
Great, I'm good, and we'll find out of Colin. The other half of the podcast is always my buddy, Colin Campbell. How are you, Colin?
I'm good, thanks very much. Yes, fresh from a nice victory, which hopefully will be a start of something, not quite sure, but hopefully a start of a good run for Spurs, yeah. Yep, all good so far.
Tell us about the victory. Let's talk about it briefly. Tell us about the victory.
Yeah, very briefly, I know it's a Forest night. We did focus on Spurs a little bit the other night. Lots to like. The team was the 11, and we kind of picked for them, and probably the formation in terms of those players' strengths. A wee bit like 1990 when Bobby Robson allegedly fell upon a system for England rather than devise it himself. But anyway, that's probably beside the point. I liked what they were doing. You know what I've talked about before about shape and commitment, and I saw both, and I liked it. I think Solanke was back. He's a natural in that position. He does well with his back to the opposition goal, notwithstanding his own goal, which was interesting. He led off a few passes to the wing by winning the ball and commanded that area of the pitch that we need a good number 9 to do. Jed Spence, playing wing, was a delight. The defence looked good, minus Mickey van de Ven. Danzo stood in, and Byfield, who come on as a youngster towards the end, looked born into the position and into it. A nice European night at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, White Hart Lane, as I call my heart. Big Dortmund turn up as good, which is good, because that's part of what the European nights are. So I'm a happy bunny. It's a start. It's only a start, but it's a start, and maybe we'll get there. So I'm feeling quite positive today. So anyway,
good.
Okay, guys, thank you for that.
Jed Spence played a blinder. I think Jed Spence played an absolute blinder.
He did.
I'm thinking about the game tonight, Amma. You're watching it from England. You're missing out on the European trip. Have you been chatting to any fellow fans? What's the mood? What are you thinking? I know what I'm thinking, but what are you guys thinking? How do you think tonight could go?
Tonight could go in various ways. I just know there's a massive buzz as there is with watching Forest. Just really gutted not to be there. It's not the same watching it at home, but no, I think everyone's really excited from where we've come from and where we are now. I think everyone's just very appreciative of being able to go away and to enjoy this, and we really appreciate it.
Great,
Mm-hmm.
great.
Good.
Yeah, we just got a comment in there. Somebody's saying, I'm not sure if they're out at the match or not. Colin, do you know much about Braga, this Braga team? Do you know much about them?
Yeah, I know a bit about them. How do we look? They're SC Sporting Club Braga. They're from the north of Portugal. They've been around since the 1920s. That's the good stuff. The bad stuff is that they are known as the Arsenalistas. Unlike the Madridistas, is a term for the Spanish use, and that's from history where allegedly they played in red and white, but whenever one of their owners was friendly with a colleague in London who was an Arsenal fan, they then took the final terrible step and moved to red shirts and white sleeves, and have been that ever since. So if I needed an excuse to support Forest tonight, that's it. Allegedly, well, not allegedly, there is Qatar Sports Investment money there, the QSI. I don't think they're the majority holders, but they're in there. And that maybe points to or gives a reason for the slight uplift in Braga's fortunes in recent years. Braga are probably the fourth or fifth team in Portugal, behind Benfica, Porto, and Sporting Club, or Sporting Lisbon. Yeah. But the distance between third and fourth is a mile, a multi-millionaire miles sort of thing. And I don't know how they'll ever make that up without massive investment. But they're a nice club. They've played Spurs a few times out there and here. A beautiful ground. I think it was built for the 2000 or 2002 European Championships out there. And the elevators up. Charlie will be able to tell you more about it later. The areas for fans are along both sides, with the mountains behind each net. So I'd hate to miss one and have to chase after the ball. Probably players, I don't know, how do we look? Victor Gomez, you might remember from years ago, a defender. And attacking midfielder, João Moutinho, who had played for a few. Spurs wanted him at one stage, and he went to Monaco. He's sort of been round, gathering money around the way, but he was a very good player in his day. I'm not sure how he performs nowadays. So I think Forest have to be very, very confident. The English teams are doing extremely well, probably far too well in these competitions. And I think, given this format where it's not as if you get a draw away and a win at home, I think they're looking for a win that can pick up as many points as it can. And for me, I think Forest will probably be looking for 3 tonight, personally. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I know they announced already. I don't think the teams are out, but they've announced that Igor Jesus is playing up front. I don't know how they know that, but if he is playing up front, I think we need a striker. Is there any word on any transfers? I haven't heard anything today, and every day I'm listening, waiting. Is there any news on any transfers?
So only within the last hour, we've had a here we go from Fabrizio Romano that Lorenzo Luca from Napoli, he's on his way. He's arriving in England tomorrow. Fingers crossed that gets done early enough, so he should be in the squad for Sunday versus Brentford.
Great, that's fantastic news. I actually for our last episode, because I thought that was going to happen a lot quicker than it did. I'm delighted to hear it's happening now, because we've been very quiet in the transfer market. Okay, let's get into the tactics and the build up, Colin. In the absence of Charlie there, do you want to start off by asking Amma some questions there about the build up to the game, and waiting Charlie coming in?
Looking down here in terms of the build up, I think we've talked before, and you've been very tactically astute. I also remember that you've set your eggs in this basket. You want them to win the Europa League,
100%.
So, I'm listening to you here. Tactically, what do you think Forest need to get in order to do that? Tactically, what do you think Forest need to get right tonight against Braga? Can they afford to rotate the squad, or just guys have to just keep pummeling on two fronts?
I think Forest have to be disciplined. When at the end of the day, first and foremost, you can rotate a little bit, but at the same time, I don't think we've got the squad. We've tried it in recent games in Carling Cup and FA Cup, and it's come back to bite us. So I think there's got to be elements of respecting the tournament that we're in. It's okay making a few tweaks, but I don't think that there should be wholesale changes. I think I said a few podcasts ago as well, and I wasn't listened to by Deitch, unfortunately, but I did say I would rather the best team out, at least 95% of the best team out, get ahead, and then if needed, take them off, let them have a rest, rather than recently. I've watched a few games, been at games, Wrexham away, Sturm Graz, Utrecht as well, where we've made 5-6 changes, yet at half time, panicked. Gibbs, White, everyone, we've had to make loads of changes. Hudson-Odoi come off, and it's just, I don't know. I'm happy to have a conversation about it to understand it, but I just don't understand why we can't start the best team, get ahead, get a couple of goals, and take them off and rest them. I don't see the point in risking it, then struggling and then panicking, and more chance of an injury that way when you're panicking as well playing football.
Yeah, I think sometimes they're bringing, teams generally are bringing their best players on with 15 minutes left to recover something rather than start. I remember an old story that I read and heard about Alex Ferguson in his heyday. He was a great believer in putting his eggs into one basket. In other words, what he said was, my aim in this part of the season is to qualify for the knockouts of the Champions League, and I'm going to focus on that, and we're going to get all the results we need. If our league form slips a bit, so be it, because once we've qualified for the 2 or 3 months before the next round of the tournament, he focused totally on the league and threw all his eggs into that basket, and managed. Now, he had a squad and a system and support mechanism to allow that to happen, but I took his point. I wonder sometimes about players, are they a wee bit victims of auto-suggestion? That is, you're playing 2 days a week, are you tired? Well, if somebody keeps telling you you're tired, you might feel more tired. I think I agree with you. Maybe get the players on, get up the goals, then judge it, and take a few off, 1 or 2 key players off who might be prone to tiredness. But I'm a great believer in momentum too. And I believe how this result goes will resonate in a big match against Brentford at the weekend, win or lose, you know what I mean? And I'm hoping in the same way the victory against Dortmund carries us into Burnley. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was out cutting timber today, and I thought, right, I was thinking about the podcast, and I was thinking, we're going on to talk about Forest playing in the SC Braga. For years, we've been languishing down the Championship and below. It just occurred to me that this is a bit surreal. How do you decide? Do you have to nip yourself sometimes?
Absolutely. I was speaking to yourself and a few others recently that it's crazy, playing teams like Leyton Orient and Oldham, and even being in the Champions League, in the Championship. Struggling there, trying to get out of that. I mean, I know we had a few seasons where we were up there and we had our seasons where we just couldn't get over the line. But I don't know. I dreamt about being in the Premier League my whole life, and it's just crazy how I got the Premier League dream, which was number 1 achievement completed, and then the Euro wasn't even in the dream because I thought I'd be probably drinking or something by then. I'm thinking it won't have been a realistic dream, to be honest. So it's still, even now, I've been to Seville and Graz, and it's just crazy. I mean, the group, Nottingham Forest, are magic, all of us. We actually met on a pre-season friendly, Charlie. That's where we initially met in Berlin for Union Berlin. And to be honest, going to these pre-season friendlies abroad since we got promoted, because that's when the friendlies started to get a bit more exotic, you could say, where normally we'd go to Scotland or Ireland, something UK based, but because when you get in the Premier League you start to have better friendlies as well. So we befriended various people on this pre-season friendly, but the pre-season friendly was kind of what I thought was brilliant. Forest abroad, never thought I'd experienced that. So now we're actually experiencing this, in competitive football, European football. It's absolutely mental. I thought it would have been pre-season friendlies only. So it's definitely mind-blowing still.
Excellent. I understand.
I was the same. I went to the PSV Eindhoven friendly, and it was just amazing. It was the start of something special, walking through Eindhoven with people going by you going, "You Reds," and you just think, "Oh my God, we're actually we're going to be in Europe again, or we're going to be in the big league again." It's incredible. It's incredible. Colin, you mentioned there. Have you met Braga recently? Is it in recent years you've met them?
No, it was a number of years ago, a few years ago under Ken Sherwood. When they knocked us out that time, we'd played them prior to that. Robbie Keane got a few goals, so we've had a wee bit of history with them. They're a good side. They're no dozers, as we would say. They're good of a standard, and I mean, I think the Portuguese league kind of punches above its weight. It always did. With money nowadays, it's more difficult for them. But historically, the Sportings, the Benficas, and the well, I say more recently in the last 40 odd years, Portos have been strong. Braga won the Intertoto or the Cup, I think, 2010. So we have a wee bit of history with them, and they're no dozers. As I said, you'll need to turn up tonight to beat them. Having said that, if both teams play to their full potential, I think Forest should win. If they played each other 10 times, their full potential, I think Forest would probably win 7 of them, So, but you can't just turn up and expect it to fall into place. You need to do the work. Can I ask, Emma, having said that and preface it that way, I mean, assuming they're on, which Forest player do you think could really be the difference maker tonight?
I think it has to be Gibbs White. I have noticed, especially more recently, if Gibbs White's on his game, it's a massive difference. If he can find space between the lines, he can control the tempo and create, something out of nothing. He came off the bench against Wrexham and turned the game on its head. And he just dictated everything that Forest needed to do. He was in the midst of it. So I think Gibbs White and Gibbs White can be a 10 out of 10, but also, he does pull out a few 5 out of 10s, and the team seems to, drop their standard. So, he does spend 90% of his game. Hello, Charlie. He does spend. Recently, he's the captain as well, so I feel like he's got a lot of respect from the team. So I'd say Gibbs White. One person I do just want to mention as well. Is that it was brilliant to see Elliot Anderson come back in form against Arsenal, because I'm one of Elliot Anderson's biggest fans. But in the last, 6 or 7 games, probably been a bit overcritical because he is outstanding. But I just feel like when he was pulling off 9.5s out of 10 every game, he's kind of gone to like a 6, which, is an England international now. And I just hope he hasn't gone a little bit, because I'm very sure that he, in the summer, he is going to someone big, whether it's Manchester City, Real Madrid, wherever, I don't know. But no, see what happens. But yeah, Gibbs White and Anderson could be big difference makers.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Well, we see Charlie's here now, so
hopefully they're both playing tonight. Charlie, welcome. Charlie, welcome.
welcome.
How are you? How was the journey?
I'm on holidays in Portugal. I'm in my shorts and it's beautiful. 90 degrees with sun blazing down.
Not. Oh, no.
The rain is worse than Ireland.
Hair
Rain.
We can tell by your hair.
Yeah.
It's raining, is it?
Oh, it's absolutely. I mean, if I was
it's raining.
If I was to just come out, look, this is outside. I can't even go outside.
What's the mood there, Charlie?
Well,
tell us what the mood's like in Braga.
I'm at the ticket collection place, and we haven't had a chance to see much yet, but there's loads of Forest fans all over the place. Did you hear that, or am I breaking up?
No, we did hear that. I heard that anyway. Describe the place, the atmosphere to us. Maybe it's too wet.
Well, you were breaking up there. We'll give it another go. We'll see how you go now. You seem to be strong.
I'm at the ticket office.
Stay in one place, maybe that's good. How's the mood out there?
I'm at the ticket office, and there's people coming in and out, still collecting their tickets. There's 25 minutes to go before they close, so they're hoping people will get their tickets.
Interesting.
Hopefully,
have you seen Braga's ground yet, Charlie? Have you been at the ground?
No. We drove straight from Porto to here. I'm sorry.
I think you'll look forward to seeing that.
No problem.
It's a lovely grind.
Oh no! We've seen pictures of it anyway. It looks fantastic. It looks fantastic.
If it's a bad reception, do you want predictions and stuff like that, or what?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, I'm actually hoping.
Yes, Charlie, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Give us your predictions, because the signal is bad and we maybe have to lose you, I'm afraid.
Okay, I'll just move for 1 second. I'm hoping for a 2-0 tonight.
Okay.
That sounds good.
2-0 to Forest.
Yes, of course, and also I'm going for Williams to score at any time.
Great.
Okay.
He's due a goal.
Okay.
He's due a goal. That's much better signal now. Yeah, Williams.
Yeah.
Williams just missed the bit. He hit the bar the last night, and a magnificent save as well. Amma, is there anybody? Sorry, Charlie. Is there anybody in the Braga team that you know anything about?
Well, the only one I would know anything about would be the guy who's called after my son, Fran. He's their pretty good goal scorer, but if we could keep him quiet tonight, or if he wasn't playing, it would be quite good. But the way I look at tonight, and we were discussing it just coming from the airport with Stu and Fran, we talk about the Portuguese league and calling it a farmers' league. Now, we know Guiorque's scored goals here, but like when he went to Arsenal, you see what happened then. But of course, we saw him playing in Coventry, with Forest, and he wasn't great then. And everybody seems to think it's just a question of turning up tonight in the rain and getting the 3 points from Braga. But look at their position in the league; they're about fifth, I think. And
Yeah.
they've played 18 goals. They played 18 games this year, and they've scored 32 goals, which is like almost a ratio of two goals each game. So we're going to have to be careful. But I do believe that the class will shine tonight. In this weather, provided the game goes ahead, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's zoom out a wee bit, guys. From the one for both of you. If we do get into the final on this, Amma, we'll start with you. If we get into the final, if we're lucky enough to get into the final, is this where does this rank in their season in the history of our club?
Personally, for me, it'd be the biggest thing ever. I wasn't around, for Europe, when we got those 2 stars on our top, which I'll just look at now. But at the end of the day, yeah, this 100 hands down would be the biggest achievement for me and for Forest. Be absolutely huge.
Yeah. Charlie, what do you think? Where will this rank in their seasons that you've been following them?
Again, the same as Amma, I wasn't around for the 78-79 games. So, I mean, for me, going like Wembley was our big thing. And for me, Wembley was the biggest thing with the club since I came there. And look, I'm going to be very realistic here. And we're not good enough to win it. But if we got to the final, I would just... It would be massive. It would be massive for me and for Fran. We know there are a lot of good teams there that we're probably even Midtjylland we're underestimating. If we got to the final, and won it, it would be massive, but nowhere near a European Cup win, obviously. But from where the club was to where the club is now or was last year, it would be a massive lift and a boost to everything. The club, the owner, the management, the players, the supporters. Massive.
Colin?
Well, for Forest, well, I unfortunately, I do remember Forest when they won the European Cup twice in a row. I do remember them too in 1967 when they lost the semi-final to Spurs. I think it would be the significance of me looking at it from the outside and would be their rebirth. It would be significant in terms of Forest's rebirth, their arrival back as a major player in the top league and possibly the world, certainly Europe. Where they're at the top table. It might also help them to lose and I hear the fatalism in your own voices about your top players may move elsewhere. It may give them an opportunity to think, well, we can do it actually here,
Yeah.
Now, remember, if you win it, you're at the Champions League next year.
Okay, 1 second, son.
Colin, could I just interrupt you there? There's a couple of Forest fans here coming for their tickets. I'm going to ask them for their predictions for tonight's game. I don't know who they are, but they're Forest fans. So, young man, what's your name?
My name's Alistair.
Where are you from, Alistair?
I'm from Buckingham.
Okay.
Lifelong season ticket holder.
Excellent. Prediction for tonight in the rain?
I think we're going to win 1-0.
1-0. I'd be happy with that. And your name, man?
My name's
Alistair.
Laura.
Where are you from?
Buckingham as
Buckingham
well.
as well.
I think 2-1.
2-1. Still us. And the last man who's going to be so positive now.
Very positive. I'm Andrew. I live in Bath. Lifelong Forest fan, originally from Nottingham. My prediction is also 2-1.
2-1.
Come on, you Reds!
And that's I'm from Ireland. My son's from Wales, so we're all here. But With
Can we get your tickets in exchange?
yeah, they want my tickets now for that. Look, watch this. Look. No
Very
chance.
good.
Thanks, guys. Thanks ever so much.
That's
So
great,
there,
Charlie. That was great to get a live
there's
view. Everybody's very
some
positive. I don't know if
predictions.
I can be that positive. I don't know if
I know
I'm
what you
in.
mean.
The big thing, as I said a minute ago, if we get 3 points here tonight, that means that we're automatically in the playoff positions, and
Yes.
that's massive in itself. If we get beat, it leaves us a bit an uphill struggle, and I just hope we don't bottle it. I just hope we don't fall.
Yeah.
Separated by water
Um,
between us and Ireland.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
so,
I've missed 3 games.
Colin,
in
have you
17
any
years, home and
questions for
away.
the lads?
Sorry, me.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I think we've covered nearly everything that I wanted to hear. One of the things I would say is I think that you were saying there, Paul, if we get the 3 points and do that and do the work now, that's what I would say to the team. Do the work now and don't be having to get in, later on and play extra matches. I think take it seriously. I think from both what you're all saying, it would be a remarkable season for us to win this or reach the final, whatever. So for God's sake, take it seriously because the fans do. Fans love Europe. They love a cup final. They love the excitement. They love the opportunity to visit grounds and places they've never been before. And usually, it's welcoming. So I look forward to Forest really turning up and putting on a performance they deserve to. A point that you'd made, Amma, or something you'd said, I just want to have a quick sort of yes or no. From what you talked about Gibbs White, and obviously had a wee bit more interest in him at the start of the season. Is he streaky? Is he 9 out of 10, 5 out of 10 every other week? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like being over critical about our players, but no, maybe, there's certain players that I will criticise more only because I expect more from them because I know they are, in the top 3-4 players at the club. But yeah, no, just sometimes, can go missing in games. But no, he is an outstanding player and very appreciative of having him at our club.
Yeah, very good. If he goes missing, he'll probably be giving Spurs in.
I think what happens with Morgan Gibbs White, and Charlie might agree with me here in a minute, we'll ask him too. I think what he does is he offers this opportunity in the midfield with the wee flicks and things like that there. And if they work, you're saying, my God, what an amazing player. He's absolutely astounding. And he can make the difference. But when it doesn't work, it can mean that we're running the other way. And I think, do you agree, Charlie?
You're dead right. You're dead right there. Absolutely. And like we all love Gibbs White now. I think he will go in the summer, not for the money we would like to get for him. But as Amber was saying when I came on, Anderson is the main man. But lads, I'll tell you what's going to happen tonight. And I'm going to have maybe 20 or 30 quid on him because I don't bet heavy. But I'm going to have a bet on Nico Williams to score anytime because he's asked us to make a song up for him. We've got a song for him. So let him go and score tonight.
And Charlie, on that note, are you going to sing that song for us?
I'd love to, but I don't have a singing license, and I'd be done for busking on the streets of Braga.
Colin, you weren't privy to this. I was listening to Charlie's journey in to the ground from the airport, and the guys were singing. My God Almighty, they were in fine fettle. I take it some alcohol has been consumed. Charlie, has it?
They got in early. I'm dry. I hire a car so I don't drink. But I've actually given them the keys to go back to the car. I'm parked over beside a police van, and they've just texted me to say they found a bar between here and the van, and between here and the car. So that's where they are now, Fran and Stu.
Very good stuff. Okay,
and
Charlie,
they were drinking liter glasses of beer at the airport when I got there.
Super Buck. I saw that. Okay, guys, thank you very much indeed, Charlie. Go and enjoy your night and keep in touch with us.
I'm really sorry I couldn't do more and I couldn't get in with the crowd and things, but look, there will be other time.
Perfect.
There will be other time.
Perfect, Charlie. Thank you very much.
I'll go. Thanks.
Take care of yourself.
Cheers.
Thanks, Charlie.
Bye-bye.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Amma, thank you once again for joining us. The comment section is quite enough tonight. What I will say is we're planning to do a World Cup podcast during the summer, and Amma has kindly agreed to join us among others. We'll tell you more about that in the future. Keep an eye on it, but we'll be covering, hopefully get somebody from Scotland, Wales, all over England, etc. doing that, so we'll be covering all that. My prediction for tonight is 2-1 Forest. I think there's going to be a clash of tactics. They like to play possession-based football, and we like to sit back and to do things on the break. I just hope that works out that way, that we can defend. I just don't want to see a rotation of a squad that leaves us that we're vulnerable. I want to see that we can play a game that suits us. We don't get forced into doing something that we don't want to do. But anyway, we'll enjoy it anyway, because we're in Europe. We're in the Europa League, and it's a long way from where we've been those last few years. So, Amma, thanks for joining us. It was a bit higgledy-piggledy there. We lost the run of things with Charlie coming in, but I was so glad he joined us. And anything you'd like to add before you go, Amma?
Strangely, I've just received a message now that Chelsea are apparently going in for Douglas Luiz on loan, which I'm just finding a bit strange. Didn't realise Chelsea could buy about 1 million players, but they're buying more apparently. They want to get Douglas Luiz. What are your thoughts on Douglas Luiz? I'm a bit 50-50 at the moment. I was really, really happy and excited when we had him. Took a while to get him on loan, but he hasn't really performed at the levels that we want or expected. But I don't know, I'd rather keep him towards the end of the season. But I know Juventus want him back, so they can get rid of him either permanently or a loan where he's playing properly. Or at the moment, he can't get into our team, apart from, he might start today because he started the last few cup games. But I just find that a bit of a strange one. And I just find it strange that Chelsea want him, to be honest.
I think he's a great player. I think he's vulnerable for injury. My worry about him is that if we play him a certain amount of minutes, we have to buy him, and it's going to cost us 35 million, I think, if I'm not wrong. So I don't know. I'm surprised that Chelsea are coming in for him. But I think he's a hell of a player, but he is prone to injury. He was fantastic at Villa, a great player at Villa. Anyway, Colin, you have to head off to yoga, so we're going to let you.
Thank you for that. All I'll say is, I think the question about anybody leaving in January, the question is who's coming in. I think that teams don't want to weaken themselves too much. Palace are in bother. We talked about that the other night. Spurs sold Johnson and then had Kudus injured. So Gallagher coming in was no replacement there. So I would question, is a Forest are ready to let him go? Who are they ready to bring in? You can't muck about at this stage of the season. Yes, you're right. I do need to go.
No, okay, mate. Okay, we'll go on. No, I was just going to say that's how we started our transfer window. We started off by getting rid of players. Kilmendo, maybe that's creating the finance to spend money elsewhere. But we'll just wait and see. Well, we will have a transfer special. Maybe you'll join us for that.
Can I just butt in before Colin goes? I had a question for both of you. I'll ask Colin first in case he needs to rush off. My one question was, obviously I'm hearing a lot about Thomas Frank with Spurs' form this season. So it's two questions in one. Are you give Frank a chance? Because I'm hearing a lot of Frank out at the moment. And the second part of the question is, why are you playing so well in the Champions League, yet the league form is nowhere near the same standard?
Yeah, well, two questions. I don't think we should see Frank sacked at the minute. I don't think there's anything to gain by that. I think we'll give Postecoglou 2 seasons to arse about, so we'll give him a bit more time. As I said, I was at the start of the season. The word I used about it, and Frank was, I was intrigued by his appointment. I'm a lot less intrigued now, but we'll see how we go. Why are they playing better in Europe than in the Premier League? Well, there are two possible answers. One is that, frankly, the European opposition is weaker than that which is in the Premier League. I'm very suspicious that it might be the case. Secondly, I think there's a thing about momentum. I think we all put our different hats on for the European games. Spurs in Europe under the lights is a kind of a thing we all talk about. And everyone seems to give everyone else a ball to perform on the night. And as I said earlier, I think the performance certainly the first half, most of the first half, was lots to like about it. And that's the kind of Spurs team that I will cheer till my throat's dry. So I think that we need to say we're transforming this form to our league form, and it starts at the weekend against Burnley, And there's the old saying, they talk about management people, and they say, right, or taught me, we're on a 5-year project here. The guy says, yeah, it's a 5-year project, but you better win on Saturday. And that's the way I look at life, and that's the way Spurs and Frank needs to see that.
Colin, I heard an interesting stat today about Spurs. 25 home games, you've won 4.
It's simply not good enough. Yeah, so when you ask me why I'm annoyed and why there's booing and why there's this, that's the reason. It's not good enough anywhere, and it's not good enough for Tottenham Hotspur. And that's not only Frank's done that. I don't know how many games go into the previous season, but our form, and some people have a science or a theory about this, but our form at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium over the duration of it being open has been poor, or our results, I beg your pardon, have been poor. But the form has been aligned to that, particularly in the last couple of years. So that's that. So Frank to stay with a wise up tablet, as we would say, starting with Burnley. But at the end of the season, we'll have to have a review and see where we think we are. But the other one is the Enoch team have not, as yet, delivered what they implied they would, and that was an active transfer window in January. Nothing's happened yet. There has been net no return because Gallagher's effectively replacing an injured player. Okay. Thank you, and not for the chance.
Thanks. Sorry for keeping me back, Colin. I'll
go and do my I'll do my downward-facing dog shortly, and then if I can get up,
all right, mate.
Come back and
we'll talk to you soon.
All the best, guys. Good luck tonight.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers, Colin. Take care.
Okay, mate. Take care. Thanks, Colin. Amma, thanks, buddy. Amma, did you have a question for me? Did you?
Yeah, the question for me, with how our season's been going, and we're only 5 points safe at the moment, and we seem to get a win or get a draw, and we seem to be making a bit of headway, slowly trickling up, and then the next game we end up getting a defeat. So I was hoping by now that we'd be a bit more mid-table, a bit more relaxed, but we seem to get a couple of good results and then stutter. Or this weekend we had where West Ham somehow, I'm glad Colin's gone while I say this, West Ham got that surprise result at Spurs, so where we were celebrating fantastic points, West Ham actually gained 2 points on us by getting a win. But regards to tonight, has your thoughts on our Europa campaign changed at all with our league position, or are you more in let's go for it? It is what it is.
I think you mentioned earlier on about Dyche making substitutions at half time. I'm actually all about that. I think if somebody's not playing well in the first half, get them off, hook them, get them off. And then they know then the next time they're on, they need to perform or they're off at half time. So I digress in that answer. I think that we have to make sure we play a strong enough team and tactically well enough that we don't get relegated. But we have to throw our hat fully into this ring for the Europa League. I think the Europa League has to be so important for us. I think before this season started, and 3 managers in a short period of time and all that it just upturned our season upside down. The amount of times I say to myself during the week, why could Nuno and Marinakis not have sorted out their problems, and we wouldn't be where we are now. We definitely wouldn't be. I think Dyche, I actually think that Dyche should be given a chance in the new year, the next season. If he keeps us up, that's what he's been brought in to do. And if he gets us into the qualifying stages, which he can do tonight, I think that's another thing he's proved himself capable of doing. I don't think he's a firekeeper, a fire stopper or a gatekeeper. I think he's a good manager, and I think we should throw everything at the Europa League, but with a pinch of let's just be careful that we don't get relegated. That's what I think.
Yeah, no, I think we've got to keep an eye on Brentford, because I feel like they're in form. They've got that. Is it Thiago? I think their striker is at Brentford, and I know a lot about him just because I've got him in my fantasy team, so I've been keeping an eye on him. But Brentford's a massive game. I've got a thing with Brentford where I had an issue with gaining a couple of years ago. So Brentford are like a personal rival of mine now. But we had a really good win, 2-0 victory last season. Yeah, which is lovely.
There's 16 games to go, And there's a lot of people above us that are performing very badly, and Spurs is one of them. Spurs could come down and meet us on the way up.
Yeah,
There's
definitely.
a few others that are Fulham have pulled themselves together a wee bit, but 16 games to go, and we need to focus on every game. And I hope we get a win at Brentford. I think the Crystal Palace situation is falling into your lap because I don't think Crystal Palace are stable at the minute. Everything's wrong there. They're losing players, their managers all but out the door, so that could
Yeah.
play into our hands. So there's a lot for us, a lot going our way. I just don't know. I'm a very nervous fan, as you know. I get very, very nervous if we're not playing well, and very, very excited if we are playing well and winning games. But look, I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm going to have a beer in my hand while I'm watching the match tonight. I'm looking forward to it immensely. I think it's going to be 2-1. What was your prediction?
Mine was exactly the same. I think 2-1 definitely. Even I think Colin mentioned some of the players. I only really know Moutinho. And I know Colin. The only thing that Colin didn't mention was that one of Nuno's boys, Moutinho, was that when Wolves were pretty good, they had Moutinho and Neves in the central midfield, the Portugal link, who will be starting tonight. Not really sure about the rest of the Braga team, but they are an established European team, so it's going to be a big game, and I'm just so glad that we got 3 points against Utrecht, because I was at the first two away games, and we gave a good account of ourselves in Seville. Should have won that game, but I just had this thing where we couldn't get over the line in an away European game. So the fact that we grabbed that winner towards the end, with the striker is not here anymore, unfortunately. So I think now we've got that win away. My outlook, a bit like what you both have said today, is momentum. I'm very much into that as well. So the fact that we're on the back of an away win there, I just feel like if we had drew there, then how my brain processes, I would have just gone with we keep drawing away. That's all I can aim for. So I'm just so glad how important that away win is. And hopefully we're celebrating tonight with 3 points next round. And then we can go to City Ground next Thursday, I think it is, isn't it? I can't say the name. Ferren. I'm not even going to try. Next week we can go there and be celebrating.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, mate. Thank you very much for your contribution. As always, very good. We will talk to you during the week. Thanks for joining us. And as I say, we'll be in touch with you about the World Cup thing as well.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks very much, Emma. And thanks for everybody. Thanks for Charlie to get the guest. Thanks, Colin. And we'll pray for a good result today, Emma. Thanks very much, buddy.
Definitely.
And we'll say goodbye to you all and stay safe. Talk soon.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you. Euros.